Welcome back to ECQ Diaries, staying at home and being at home. It's been quite a while since I uploaded some content here on my channel. Recently here in our city, we've been somewhat allowed to go out from ECQ, Enhanced Community Quarantine, to more general community quarantine. So it's quite nice because I was able to get some supplies back for I to share some more interesting recipes to you. And let's get to it today. It's really interesting to try something new. And today we're going to do something that was very different, not quite usual here in this side of the globe because it hails all the way from Old Bavaria in Germany, and it's called Pumpernickel bread. Pumpernickel bread is something that's very different. It's something that's not usual here in Asia. It hails all the way from Germany, in Old Bavaria, which we would say, during the medieval ages. Now, it's been popular to most of the underprivileged people during those times because it's very heavy, it's very easy to make, it's very hardy and can last almost more than a week. The origins of pumpernickel, the word pumpernickel, is really funny. Well, somewhat. So pumpernickel roughly translates from the Old German to the New English as devil's fart. Oh yeah, fart. Now, pretty much, we're going to dissect pumper, which means hard, okay, and nickel, which is more of Nicholas, and Nicholas back in the day was associated with Satan, or the devil, and they combined the two. Now, mainly because of its color, which is very dark. Pumpernickel mix of flours is something that is quite different to what we usually do. Now, aside from bread flour, there's a certain mixture of barley flour, rye flour, and some whole wheat flour, making it really dense. And this becomes really longer in terms of developing the gluten. Hence, it needs to be kneaded really thoroughly, and the resting times are usually longer. The very deep, handsome, three-dimensional taste of pumpernickel bread comes from the great mix of cocoa powder, caraway seeds, and coffee. Now, once you achieve that balance in these three, you'd have that very nostalgic flavor to your really heavy bread, which would somewhat transport you to an olden time. For me, it reminds me of the jazz age. It reminds me of just hanging out in the study. We can smell books. You can smell leather. You can smell all of the goodness of old wood while you're sipping black coffee. It can be a bit challenging for you to find caraway seeds, most especially here in Asia. Now, caraway comes from that family of licorice, anise, and fennel. So, pretty much anise is something that is quite very familiar. It's something that you can easily find in the grocery store. You can replace your caraway seeds with that. Now, instead of using the conventional 1 tablespoon of caraway seeds for the recipe, you can make use of just around 3/4 of a tablespoon because anise has a stronger flavor than its cousins. We replace molasses with sugar or brown sugar in this recipe. But usually molasses would give you that really deep honey tone that makes it more handsome as it is. Now I like pumpernickel bread in my open face sandwiches because a very thin slice will go a long way. Not that it's just heavy, but also it makes that butter, the cream cheese, really be a highlight. It blends really well. The bitterness of the loaf or the bread blends with the sweetness, the fatness, and everything.